Covering the islands of the Bahamas, ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight.
This portion of the news is brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
An alert has been issued for a southern island as Tropical Storm Isaac strengthens. Good evening and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. I'm Keishla Adderley. Thanks for joining us. Topping the news tonight, it's not clear where the storm will head next, but forecasters say it could reach hurricane strength by tomorrow. Right now, we go straight to Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean with the latest. Basil, good evening to you. And firstly, I want to ask you, you talked about three possible scenarios as to the movement of this storm. Are you closer to a conclusion on how this may play out?
Well, the best case scenario, which existed last evening, is out of the window. That is the more southerly track, which would have kept it over the Caribbean Sea a lot longer. It has shifted towards the north a bit, and that means it will interact with landmass more during its westward passage. And that is certainly good news as well, because what will happen after it passes over Hispaniola, the models expect it to weaken before it approaches the east coast of Cuba on Sunday, and that will be just to the southwest of Andros by Sunday. Nevertheless, we do anticipate some heavy rains in parts of the southeast central Bahamas as this system tracks through, because remember, we do have those feeder bands which are far removed from the center of circulation, and they too can produce some heavy downpours, which could result in local ponding in low-lying areas as well. But winds and rain will be the major factor of this system. We are quite confident now that it will continue moving along the forecast track over the next 24 to 36 hours, and hopefully by Tuesday, we will have this system all out of the way. But before we even leave, we have another system that's kicking up out there in the far Atlantic, just formed today, Tropical Depression number 10, and it was located at 13.1 degrees north longitude, 37.4 west. It's only packing winds of 35 miles per hour, but the good news is it's tracking more west-northwest, meaning it will stay parallel and well to the east of these 700 islands, so we need not worry about that at all. So that is the state of the tropics tonight, Keishla.
All right, Basil, just one quick question for you. Inagua is, of course, that island which the alert has been issued for. What is the possibility of warnings, watches in the hours ahead, and for what islands?
Well, right now, Inagua is the only island in the Bahama chain, including the Turks and Caicos Islands, which is in the forecast cone, and that is the reason why they are the first out in terms of the alert. By tomorrow morning, that alert will be bumped up to a watch, because it will be a lot closer then, at least within 48 hours, we'll bump it up to a watch. And if there's a further shift towards the north, there could be some other islands included in that watch come tomorrow morning as well, and perhaps maybe the Turks and Caicos Islands. But as we speak now, the Turks and Caicos Island is out of the danger zone, and right now it's just the Inagua that we're looking at.
All right, thanks a lot, Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. We'll talk with you later in the newscast. Meantime, the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, is planning a meeting tomorrow with stakeholders as they prepare for the possible landfall of a storm. An agency spokesperson told us today at this point, NEMA will be in a better position to decide the threat level from the storm, if any. In other news tonight, a public memorial held today for Free National Movement Chairman Charles Maynard, drawing scores of party supporters and the wider community to F&M headquarters. They took time out to pay tribute to the former Youth, Sports and Culture Minister and Golden Isles MP. Tribute after tribute, the 42-year-old was hailed for his passion and commitment to the development of the youth and initiatives to advance the party and the country. We get the story tonight from Clint Watson.
His life is being celebrated for its enormous impact to the Bahamian society, in particular the youth of the nation. Charles Maynard achieved success as a cabinet minister, member of parliament, senior party officer, family member, and friend. The accolades and well wishes nationally speaks to his contributions. But aside from all of this, his infectious smile has left an imprint in the minds of just about everyone that he's come into contact with.
I want you to celebrate the life of an incredible Bahamian, and he was that, a Bahamian. I want you to celebrate the life of a patriot. I want you to celebrate the life of a real FNN.
He had an uncanny ability to recognize what persons in the community were saying. And as we've seen over the course of the last 8 days, persons from every walk of life have talked about how Charlie touched their lives.
Former Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Hubert Ingram, said he picked Maynard out when he joined the FNM 6 years ago. He saw what many people already saw in Charles Maynard, but was willing to go a little further and place him prominently in national service so that the entire nation could benefit. Years later, his vision, although not completed, was realized.
Charlie was a gifted addition to the FNM's rank. We do not have now, could never have, enough Charlies in our ranks. Indeed, Charlies are very rare individuals. When we find men and women of his character and his disposition, with his energy, our organization must assist in molding and shaping them, the Charlies of this world, so as to help to keep the FNM in the forefront of change, advancement and development of the land. Charlie loved life. He loved his family, he loved people, he loved working, he loved the Bahamas, and he loved the FNM.
FNM leader Dr. Hubert Minnis remembers Maynard as a fierce debater, faithful to his colleagues, constituents, and the Bahamas. His dedication to working with young people, particularly through his party, led him to establish and develop programs for youth. His goal within the party was to also ensure the FNM became the party for the people. His eyes were set on winning the by-election in North Abaco as a propelling force for the party for the next general elections. It was a commitment Minnis hopes to keep among several other goals near to Maynard's heart.
In his memory, I commit to his cause, the youth of this nation. I appreciate his support, commitment to our party, and dedication to serve Bahamians. We must continue to empower our young people, enriching their lives, elevate and motivate them to greatness. We should always remember that this was the dream and now the legacy of the late, great Charlie Maynard.
FNM supporters say while they will miss Charles Maynard's smile, they will definitely remember his cause, and it will be something that they fight for in the days to come. Clint Watson, ZNS News.
Now, Maynard's body has been lying in repose at the headquarters since last evening. Former Prime Minister and FNM leader Hubert Ingram and his wife Dolores were there, along with former cabinet ministers, members of parliament and party members, to pay their respects. We spoke with several of the FNM chairman's close friends, including his secretary, Eileen Spencer, his driver, Christopher Richardson, Adelaide Constituency Association Chairman Wayne Green, and others.
He was a person who believed in putting people first and the young people of the Bahamas. He believed in young people aspiring to be what they should have been. And one thing I can say about him was he was a person who, if he couldn't do it, he would say he couldn't do it. He never tried to pretend.
If he can't do something for you, he would tell you, boy, I can't do that. He would not lead you on or give you the impression that he could do it. He would tell you, oh, well, that can't be done. Or he will advise you on which road to take to deal with certain situations.
His chairmanship, though brief, I think had he continued, I think he would have really made an impact for the Free National Movement.
He was very, very fearless member of parliament, very, very fearless. And what I liked about him, though, he never took it personal. And I've advised young politicians, there's every opportunity I get. You have strong debates. Persons make strong statements, but you should never take it personal.
Now, Maynard's body will be taken to the House of Assembly tomorrow. He'll lie in state there until Friday, when a procession will head to Christchurch Cathedral for the official funeral at 11 o'clock Friday morning. ZNS News will provide full coverage of all the events live on 1540 and 104.5. This year's All Bahamas Merit Scholarship recipient has been named. He is 17-year-old Theophilus Moss. Moss, an exceptional student from St. Augustine's College, served as a mentor for at-risk boys at the National Lead Institute, among other leadership roles.
Loving and supporting me for all of these years and sending me to a great school like St. Augustine's. I owe a lot to that school for educating me. I'd like to especially thank my English teacher, Mr. Pratt, and my guidance counselor, Mr. Walking, for helping me with the college application and the scholarship application processes. They were always a big help to me, and I encourage any student to always go to their teachers because they're willing to help, and we do have some great teachers in this country.
Now, with a scholarship of some $35,000 for 4 years, Moss plans to attend Johns Hopkins University in Maryland this fall. After that, Moss says he plans to become one of the most efficient engineers in the Bahamas. He credits his academic success to the strong support of his parents and teachers. His parents, Daphne and Theophilus Sr., say they're thrilled that their son was able to receive this high honor, and they're encouraging more parents to get involved in their children's education.
When he got accepted in April, we didn't understand or appreciate the magnitude of the acceptance into Johns Hopkins. He was offered scholarships at other universities, and Johns Hopkins is quite pricey. But after we understood the magnitude of the acceptance, we decided to go with that one.
I think both of us inspire Theo and his two elder sisters. I think they really motivate him, and he's actually capable of doing much more because he is motivated also from within. He's very, very self-motivated. So he sees where they are, he sees what they have done, and he's very competitive. So he sets these standards for himself, and he goes at it.
Now, the Minister of Education, of course, was the one awarding that scholarship today. He was the special guest on the ZNS show, The Exchange with Dr. Ian Strawn, which can be seen on ZNS TV 13 Monday through Friday at 9 p.m. and at midnight. The Bahamas paying tribute to one of the sons of the soil last night in Los Angeles, California. Deputy Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Brave Davis and Minister of Foreign Affairs Fred Mitchell honoring the ambassador to Japan last night. The two ministers presented the ambassador and Oscar-winning actor with a token of appreciation for his contributions to the Bahamas.
Your remarkable achievements in the motion picture business and in literature are a testament to what can be accomplished by a person brave and principled enough to follow his this wise advice. Sir Sidney has enhanced the cultural life of the two states of the citizenship, the United States of America and the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
I thank you both this evening. If I can be of service to the country, I certainly will. More is not necessary. Thank you.
Well, still to come in the Bahamas tonight, find out what police say these men got away with in a heist last week.
This portion of the news is brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.